Good afternoon, Ghana. It's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Hashtag Stop Galamsey now. 59 days to the 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra, and Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM, myjoyonline.com. We are live in all 16 regions of Ghana, ATL FM in Cape Coast, A1 Radio in Bolgatanga. We are live on X Spaces. We are on Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrol Soul Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. So this afternoon, Labour front appears divided as the Ghana Medical Association, nurses and midwives, Pharmacists Associations opt out of the planned demonstration or strike by organised labour as Public Utility Workers Union gears up to shut down the nation on October 10.
We are going to hold the whole nation to ransom unless those in their private vehicles movement is going to hold up.
The majority that are advocating should proceed, even if we don't get all of Labour.
We'll get to hear from workers of the Ghana Meteorological Agency. For them, the warning is clear.
Any worker who will flout the directive of your board should declare himself or herself as having terminated his or her appointment if you join the strike.
Also, government's new approach to fighting illegal mining includes deploying the military and declaring river bodies and forest reserves as red zones. However, it stops short of declaring a state of emergency despite growing pressure.
Unfortunately, sometimes it's being created that nothing has been done in the past, nothing is being done. That is absolutely not correct. I don't know of any government in this Fourth Republic that has taken on the fight on illegal small-scale mining as much as Akufo-Addo government has done.
But as water bodies remain contaminated, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources insists that tap water is still safe for daily consumption.
Why not? I drink it every day. Even this morning, I drank water from the tap.
You want to stay for details of that on the campaign trail? The PNC has voiced its disappointment with the NDC, accusing the party of betrayal and neglect after the party's flag bearer was disqualified from the presidential race.
People who believe that my candidate Bernard Mona is an ally to NDC could do believe say nobody from NDC, not even President Mahama, none of them, beyond Fred Bernard Mona to say my brother, to sympathize with us.
And their sports.
Ghana FA President Keto Kreku charges Black Stars to revive the nation's fortunes in a fiery outburst ahead of the AFCON qualifier against Sudan.
And we have our climate focus today. We look at the link between climate-induced migration, peace and security.
The grass near the farm is very softer than where they are grazing every day. So they plan to come at the day you are not in the farm. They will come and graze at the edges and enter inside your farm.
We have that and more in this afternoon's edition of the Midday News. I am Emefa Apawu. Please do stay on for details. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. We start off with the hashtag Stop Galamsey Now. And organised labour looks a bit disorganised this afternoon. This is because the unions are not in agreement on an intended strike planned for Thursday, October 10, to protest the continuous destruction of the country's water bodies and the environment, and to also declare a state of emergency. As a result, yesterday, 9 out of the 15 branches of UTAG voted to back the action. We can listen to UTAG President Professor Mahmoud Akudugu, who says his members voted massively across the various campuses in support of the protests.
Overwhelming majority of members of the University Teachers Association of Ghana are voting in support of the industrial action. So far, we have results from about 9 campuses out of 15, and the minimum endorsement is 70%, and we have as far as high as about over 90% endorsing.
Well, the Public Utilities and Workers Union and others, including the GPRTU, as well as some CSOs, have all indicated their readiness to embark on this action tomorrow. My colleague, Kwekwa Sante, is with me in the studios. First, let's go through the statements from the various unions. What do we have?
So we have this one from Public Utility Workers Union. It says, at a meeting held on Tuesday, 1st October 2024 in the conference room of the Hall of Trade Union in Accra, the leadership of organized labor decided to embark on a nationwide strike action against the issues pertaining to illegal small-scale mining. This decision was reinforced by organized labor at this meeting held on October 7, 2024 at the Hall of Trade Union. In this regard, we hereby write to officially notify you that POO and all its members, except production and maintenance units, shall join this nationwide strike starting from Thursday, 10 October, as per their third statement. And so POO is now joining this protest.
Now let's talk about the groups that have opted out of this action. First, the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association.
Well, yes, in this statement put out by the association, signed by both the president and general secretary, it says the National Council of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association held an emergency meeting on 8 October and wished to state as follows. The GRNM and its members will not embark on the strike action declared by organized labor, and therefore directs all nurses and midwives stay at post and continue to deliver safe and quality health services to the good people of Ghana. The Registered Nurses and Midwives Association solidarizes with the members of the Trade Union Congress and organized labor in the fight against galamsey and will continue to advocate for government to act. Then there is GOSPA, that is the Ghana
Government and Hospital Pharmacists Association.
Exactly. They have also affirmed its full support for the nationwide strike by organized labor, but says because of the key role they play in these facilities, all pharmacy and pharmacy technicians are required to carry on with their duties until further communication from the leadership.
Well, there's a stern warning by the board chairman of the Ghana Meteorological Agency, Isaac Amu, to its staff. What does it say? Well,
according to the board chair, any person who joins this protest from their entity will be fired from office.
That GMET is part of the essential services of this country. So, on behalf of the board and leadership of this agency, I want to announce to you that GMET does not approve any of its workers to join the nationwide strike. And any worker who will flout the directive of your board should declare himself or herself as having terminated his or her appointment if you join the strike. We are an essential services that provide very important and critical services to the nation. Any worker that will flout this directive coming from the board.
So that's Isaac Amu, the board chairman of the Ghana Meteorological Agency. That's stern warning to staff. Well, we've also been hearing from the Ghana Medical Association yesterday on this decision. Let's hear from the president, Frank Sebo.
We have 21 council members. When I finished tallying the results of the opinion of the various council members, 5 people indicated we should join the strike. 1 abstained. 15 said no, we shouldn't join. I would like to take this opportunity to inform all of you. The Ghana Medical Association will not embark on the strike action.
Well, so that's Dr. Frank Srebo yesterday announcing that the GMA cannot participate in this. There have been reactions. First, there's been a petition for his removal, and then reactions. Quick, let's go through it.
Well, yes, a medical doctor, Dr. Vishnu Nene Lemon Abayete, says, in line with Article 23.3 of the stated charges for his removal, he says the president unilaterally issued a statement without recourse to the National Executive Council or the General Assembly in announcing the non-participation, and he is going to mobilize the required 2/3 of all the General Assembly required for this motion to carry, and he wants to remove the GMA president, Dr. Frank Srebo, from office.
And there's been reactions also?
Yes, Titus Bayo, who used to be in the leadership and now NDC parliamentary candidate, is concerned about the posture of his association.
We should not use a divide and rule tactic. This is a genuine concern, and for a few greedy people to look at what they will gain and jeopardize the future of all of us is unacceptable. And if you look at the measures put up by government, I don't think they are satisfactory at all. And I think the unions were actually helping government by asking to declare a state of emergency. I'm not a lawyer, but under a state of emergency, certain rights can be curtailed, which means.
That's Dr. Titus Bayu, the former General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, concerns about the GMA's decision to opt out of this. Less than 24 hours to this particular action today. Tomorrow, there seems to be a lot happening. Yeah. NAT is here to take a decision on the strike.
Yes, we haven't heard officially from NAT in terms of its Constitution, what it says about this strike. So NAT is here to put out a statement as whether or not they will join this protest or not. The same with Nagrato as well. But we understand the leadership of organized labor will meet today at 2 p.m. to discuss the way forward, whether or not they are going to go ahead with this strike with the members they have, or they are going to call it off and try and get its house in order because of some of the cracks that have emerged since they announced this strike action.
Thank you very much, Kweku. And this is an action that we are looking at, we are following closely, but we'll stay a while longer on Stop Galamsey now. And the Ghana Armed Forces is collaborating with small-scale miners as part of its ongoing efforts to combat illegal mining, commonly known as galamsey. Well, this initiative aims to promote responsible mining practices while intensifying the fight against illegal mining. Well, the measure is among others adopted by government in a renewed fight against the menace. My colleague Elton Brobe joins me in studio with details of a statement issued by the Information Ministry in the last couple of hours. Elton, what more is contained in that statement?
So, the Information Ministry essentially talks about the fact that government, after an extensive meeting last night, came to this resolution: the deployment of the military in collaboration with small-scale miners to rid river bodies of all forms of mining. This phase of the operation will be done in conjunction with the small-scale miners. Also, government, according to the statement, reassess that river bodies and forest reserve remain red zone. Government reiterates its commitment to the fight against illegal small-scale mining and call on all stakeholders to join the fight. And this is the outcome of the meeting that was held between the National Security, Lands and Forestry, Environment, and other connected ministers to the fight against illegal mining.
Well, the statement falls short of announcing a declaration of a state of emergency, one of the key demands of organized labor. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Samuel Abujinapo, explains why. He's been speaking on the Super Morning Show.
Sometimes it's been created that nothing has been done in the past, nothing is being done. That is absolutely not correct. I don't know of any government in this Fourth Republic that has taken on the fight on illegal small-scale mining as much as the Akufo-Addo government has done, to the extent of banning excavators, to the extent of seizing thousands of excavators, to the extent of prosecuting and imprisoning hundreds of people.
Organized labor have called on you to declare a state of emergency on water bodies and forest reserves, including their buffers. So you have clarity on what they want indicated to you. Is this too difficult to ask?
All forms of mining on river bodies and their banks remain illegal by acts of parliament. You are not permitted to mine on the river body. That already is illegal. And therefore, the Ghana Armed Forces leading Operation Halt is fully mandated to arrest people and deal with them squarely if they were to be found to be engaged in any mining activities on river bodies. That the forest reserves of our country, small-scale mining is not permitted by law. So if there's a call that declare a state of emergency in order to be able to deal with an illegality, I'm saying that let's examine it. Let's all have a discussion about it.
In examining it, Honorable Jinapo, you have just a day to the strike. You are part of a committee mandated by government, 5-member ministerial committee. What else are you going to examine before tomorrow when organized labor starts their strike action? What is the difficulty?
Organized labor wants us to deal with illegal small-scale mining and avoid its very debilitating consequences on the population. And that's exactly what government is also interested in.
Well, the turbidity level in water bodies, especially in mining areas, remains a major health concern. Despite that particular clear danger, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, Samuel Abujinapo, says it is safe to drink tap water.
The conclusion that our river bodies have never been this bad is not one that is entirely correct. Our river bodies are polluted. There's absolutely no two ways about that. They've been polluted over a long period of time, and we have a problem on our hands, which we have to deal with. To determine the quality of river bodies is not just the color of the river body. The experts will tell you.
At least clarify one thing, Mr. Jinapo. Would you drink the water that comes out of your tap?
Why not? I drink it every day. Even this morning, I drank water from the tap.
Well,
I do, but that does not suggest.
Wait, let's clarify. You would drink the water.
Of course I will. Why would I not? I do it every day.
You know that the Ghana Water Company has said that
I went to the bathroom and had my oral hygiene with the water from Ghana Water Company. Is that not drinking it?
And you know that the Ghana Water Company has stated quite clearly that their purification process does not remove heavy metals.
I don't contest all of that. I don't contest the issue of our water bodies being polluted.
That's the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, Samuel Abujinapo. While security consultant Professor Kwesi says government lacks the political will to take decisive action to stop galamsey.
What are they going to do about the licenses that have been issued already? So for me, this is a play on words, procedures, mechanisms, and processes, basically to buy time. I can offer a word. When people feel threatened to an extent where they lose trust in those who ought to protect them, then they take the law and the decisions into their own hands. And we're already beginning to see in a few communities where the youth are beginning to clash with minors. Nobody is going to declare a state of emergency, though it is necessary, because there is no consensus about the extent of the threat and the urgency of the threat.
Well, Professor Kwesi there. Well, this afternoon also Democracy Hub, organizers of the Stop Galamsey protest that landed 53 persons in police and prison custody for 2 weeks are accusing the police and some court officials of scheming to have them detained for a longer period despite having been granted bail. As of this morning, all the accused persons were still being detained due to what Democracy Hub describes as deliberate impediments in the way of executing the bail. A legal affairs correspondent Kwekwa Sante is with me in the studio. Briefly, what are they saying?
So they say that despite the court order granting bail in the morning, the order was only sent to the police 2 p.m. the following day. The police have yet to verify the sureties. The police must sign the release form after verifying the sureties, but this too has not been completed. Currently, key personnel at the Ghana Police Service who are responsible for verifying the sureties are all not around. And in fact, shockingly, the individuals responsible for signing the bail bond at the High Court are said not to be working today.
Well, we've been hearing from the Deputy Attorney General on this, Alfred Chiayabwa. He says the police officers are simply doing their work to ensure the documents and the sureties presented meets the requirements of the bill. He, however, says if there is proof that some officials are deliberately frustrating the execution of the bill, the Attorney General's office will intervene.
We will not condone any attempt by the investigators to frustrate the accused person from having their bail granted or executed. And so if there are genuine cause to prove that indeed a state agent is preventing the accused person from having the bail order executed, we will definitely come to the aid of that accused person. But they must also know that the police officers who are the CID officers must also be satisfied that those who are coming to stand as sureties are people that they can identify. So in the event that the accused person are caught, then they can then identify where the sureties live and then bring them to court.
That's the Deputy Attorney General Alfred Chiayabwa. So all 52 protesters but one was not granted bail yesterday. Let me bring in lawyer, protest defense and legal team of the protesters, Noah Damte. We are grateful for your time here on the Midday News. By way of update, all 52 persons have met their bail conditions and released from custody now?
No. So I'm currently at the court. I've just been moving between the High Court and then the Circuit Court. We are still trying to get the administrative hurdles cleared so that the accused persons can be released on bail. For those who were granted bail on Monday at the High Court, all the sureties have gone through the administrative processes. The police has gone to their houses to inspect where they live. So they just have to be brought to court today to execute the bail bond. That is the only hurdle that we are waiting to clear. And the registrar is actually working. The court is working. So the registrar has been with us throughout the morning. He was here very early in the morning to help us go through the filling of the documents that we need to. So we've done all of that. It's just left with the police to bring the accused persons here to execute the bail bond.
And we are hopeful that at least by close of day, those who were granted bail on Monday at least would go home.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I'm saying that we are very hopeful that by close of day, they will all go home, at least those who were granted bail on Monday.
Yes. So we are very certain that if the police brings them to the court today, they will be able to execute the bail bond, and those granted on Monday will be released on bail.
Well, we heard from Democracy Hub, they are alleging deliberate impediments in the way of executing this bill. Is that the same sense you get as lawyers?
I cannot really speak to that, but it's very surprising that since Monday we've not been able to clear these administrative processes to grant the accused person's bail. I cannot say emphatically that there is a deliberate attempt by any of the state agencies to frustrate the process, but I understand the Democracy Hub also feeling that way because this should have been a very easy process to clear. So I understand their sentiments too.
Okay, we are grateful. That's Noah Adamte there. Adamte, he's lawyer and for protest defense and legal team of the protesters. It's time for fact checking, and today we are focusing on some claims made by vice presidential candidate of the governing New Patriotic Party, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. Head of our research desk, Raymond Akwa, joins me in studio with more on claims and verdicts. What exactly did NAPO say, and what's the verdict, Raymond?
Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh claimed that former President John Dramani Mahama sacked everyone who hails from the Ashanti region when he became president, and then proceeded to name specific individuals.
President, Ashanti region,
Now they claim that ex-president Mahama sacked everyone from the Ashanti region in his government is false. Now he gave specific examples, so let's take them. For example, Dr. Kweku Agyeman Mensah, a native of Achimampunua, who was the Ashanti regional minister under Prof. Mills, was maintained as regional minister from July to January 2013. He was then appointed the health minister in 2014 under John Dramani Mahama and moved to the Works and Housing Ministry in 2015, a role he occupied till Mahama's term came to an end. But let us examine some of the other examples he gave. First, when Vice President Mahama became president in July 2012 to continue the unexpired term of the late Professor Mills, he indeed kept both Dr. Kwabena Dufour and Dr. Joatin as ministers for finance and energy respectively. When he was elected president starting his full term, it is true that he did not appoint Dr. Dufour, but rather chose Sektepe to be finance minister. Unlike Dr. Dufour, then President Mahama made Dr. TNJ his environment minister, the very first one. Again, the claim that Betty Modijusu was sacked by former President Mahama is also false. The first female Attorney General and Minister for Justice was moved by President Mills from the Attorney General's ministry to the Education Ministry, and she resigned in January 2012 when President Mahama was not yet president.
That's fact checking. Watch what you say, because Raymond Akwa and the research team here at Joy News will be fact checking it. Let's take a quick break here on the Midday News, live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra, and Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM. We're on myjoyonline.com. We are live in all 16 regions. Kind support from our affiliates across the 16 regions. We're also live on X Spaces and Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrol Soul Platinum Energy, energizing dreams with less than 24 hours to that demonstration declared by organized labor. It looks like their front appears divided as the Ghana Medical Association, Nurses and Midwives, Pharmacists Associations all opt out of planned strike. Ghana Meteorological Agency also issuing a stern warning to its staff. We are looking out for that meeting by organized labor much later. When we return, we have sports, and then the PNC has voiced its disappointment with the NDC, accusing the party of betrayal and neglect after the party's flag bearer was disqualified from the presidential race.
People who believe that my candidate Bernard Mona is an ally to NDC, could you believe say nobody from NDC, not even President Mahama, none of them, beyond Fred Bernard Mona to say my brother, to sympathize with us.
When buying budgets are tight and money difficult to come by. You want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah.
Here's to the friends who dialed star 712 hash and found no regrets. To the investors who struck gold. To the health workers who diagnosed luck with precision. To the tough guy who couldn't hold back his tears. To the passionate fan who couldn't contain his joy. To the seamstress who turned her hard-earned stitches into a bundle of happiness. And now, here's to you. Your next big win is right here.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone.
Dial star 712 hash. Now join in the luckiest winning celebration. Every 1st July 2024. Over dial star 712 hash. Now I can to take it through as a group, individual, and now even as a community. Now win is the car prizes are in the community draw, or go for the grand draw on the 30th of November 2024. Unlock your luck with star 712 hash. Now join in the winning streak now.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Ghana, it is saying, do you have a human resource technology or AI-inspired product or service the world should know about? Join visionaries behind some of today's cutting-edge AI and HR technologies at the Global Conference on Human Resources in Africa on October 24th and 25th at the prestigious Labadi Beach Hotel. Showcase your product or service and let's explore the emergence and dynamics of AI and HR technologies in Africa. Benefits of sponsoring and exhibiting include direct access to a global community of forward-thinking HR professionals, widespread recognition, enhanced brand visibility, and influence in the HR sector. Plus, demo your tech product and tool at our educational seminar and let participants interact with it firsthand. Hear from our keynote speaker, Johnny C. Taylor Jr., President and CEO of SHRM Global, and other distinguished speakers. Sponsors and partners include Rigwell Solutions Limited, Access Pension Trust, Delta Airlines, Adansi Travels, National Labor Commission, SHRM Global, SHRM Forum Ghana, CIHRM Ghana, Strategic HR Professionals, and more. Visit gchrafrica.com to register today or call 055-408-1727 for more information. Be part of this transformative gathering to empower Africa's workforce. See you there.
Let's do sports.
Yes, Emefa. So, President of the Ghana FA, Keto Kreku, has expressed frustration over the Black Stars' disappointing start in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers. Remember, Ghana picked up 1 point from a possible 6 and sits third in Group F.
A few weeks ago, we played against Niger. Niger! Come on, guys! You drew 1-1 against Niger. 4-5 of the players who played in that squad, cannot play in my club. The minimum I expect, the minimum Ghana expects, is a team of boys or men who will show passion and desire to play for our country. In 1957, Ghana gained independence, and that was led by men who had this, not men who ran away from the battlefield. When Kudus, you were not born, this team existed. Alex, when you were not born, this team called Black Stars existed. It's time to show the willingness to go the extra mile for Ghana. The message is very clear. It's either you are with this family or you are out of this family.
Yeah, a very powerful, fiery conversation with the Black Stars. Yeah, that's Keto Kreku.
Well, it's time for Climate Focus, and let me take you to Northern Ghana, where the impact of climate change has gone beyond weather and related matters to issues of unemployment, peace and security. Well, this piece was put together by our partners from Youth Bridge Foundation. There's more in this following report.
This is Northern Ghana, where the consequences of climate change are not just statistics, but stark realities that shape the destinies of its people. Farmers rooted to the land find themselves at the crossroads of tradition and the harsh realities of climate change. Dams that once sustained life have dried up.
In the dry season, the little water remaining in the dam for us to use becomes muddy, making it difficult for us to use it.
The arrival of the Fulani and their herds in Dagomba land sparks conflict. Lands once fertile are now battlegrounds.
Their intention is that the grass near the farm is very softer than where they are grazing every day. So they plan to come at the day you are not in the farm. They will come and graze at the edges and enter inside your farm and graze.
Because the population is increasing, places where our cattle used to graze has now been turned into farms, and cattle would always graze in those places now, and sometimes they walk into people's farms.
Climate Focus is brought to you in partnership with the Youth Bridge Foundation and the Climate Development Knowledge Network. The full episode will air subsequently. M&J, the M is with the Ghana Boundary Commission in Lome, Togo, and the J is back from the various protests.
I know, right? Well, Emefa, obviously still the hashtag Stop Galamsey trending, and another hashtag that I saw earlier this morning was Drop the Charges still trending. People are calling for them to drop the charges. But then interestingly, the GFA is trending this afternoon. Just as Mubarak played, Ket has actually been saying a whole lot of stuff. So KD says that, well, Ket, I love this one. The lackadaisical posture of the boys must end somewhere. So a lot of comments are actually backing Ket on this one.
Well, I'll leave you with the PNC Samson Asaki Awingo bit also firing away.
Could you imagine that since the time we did our election, we did the filing of our nomination, and the Electoral Commission disqualified us? People who believe that my candidate Bernard Mona is an ally to NDC, could you believe, say, nobody from NDC, not even President Mahama, or Asarin Ketia, or Fifi Kwete, or Omani Boama, none of them, beyond Fred Bernard Mona, to say, my brother, to sympathize with us. Look, you know who called?
Who?
My leader made and I feel cold. I had cold immediately when he told me. He said it is the new Patriotic Party president's candidate, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. His rather with phone. Even me and my leader, we are saying that it is MPP.
Jackie, let's go. Why? And that's it for the Midday News. You're on Joy 99.7 FM. We have Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil. God has not given us the spirit of fear. Episode 5 up next. I am